Good evening, everybody. Got started a little bit late. Hope everybody's having a nice summer evening. We'll have a rain shower that comes down heavily for 4 or 5 minutes, then it stops, then the sun comes out, and then about an hour later, got another rain shower for 4 or 5 minutes, and it's not just sprinkling rain, it comes down hard. So, cooled everything off. All right. Good market conditions to make some good money. As we saw, the Dow traded lower most of the day, and it was an unusual day. When we woke up, it showed that the pre-market futures were going to have the market open up about 130 to 150 points. It opened up and immediately went down 150 points. But the solid part of the trading was over here in the NASDAQ, where it didn't trade off very much, but then came up very strong. So this is what we should be looking at, the fact that we're having an uptrend, profit taking, uptrend, profit taking. Just look for some more upside. Again, it's not exuberant buying. It's just slow, steady buying in this market. Crude oil. Always do that. Did it again. Crude oil. I think I saw it trading after hours at, I think it was up another 39 cents, which means it was up over $41. Now I can't figure out why. Okay, there's the August contract trading at $40.82. Joe, I would think so. If you ever have problems, just email Abraham at candlestickforum.com, and he'll get you the link. I'm trying to see if there's anything over in the futures area that is exciting. Soybeans just slowly coming up. Wheat maybe trying to reverse. Gold starting to come back up again. So we'll get to some of the gold stocks. So let's take a gander here. Let's see. Doji sandwich setup. It could be, but it's it doesn't necessarily have to be. It's just kind of in an uptrend. Oh, coffee. I haven't traded coffee. It's trying to base, but nothing yet. It needs to, you got the doji, spinning top, bullish engulfing, doji, kind of a morning star signal. You can get ready to start buying this on positive trading. Okay, so these market conditions, when I say these market conditions, when the market's not selling off, they basically just moving sideways, that still provides a good opportunity to scan or maintain the positions that are not selling off based upon the T-line. That's what provides the big price move potential. Today, happy was a NVTA coming out of this slow curve, big breakout. So a lot of stocks that have uptrends, you can see Overstock stayed above the T-line. And we recommended GFI because gold was acting better. and look at your best friend's signal. Right off the 50, gap up through the T-line, through the resistance. That just makes just a clear indication. Bah humbug. There's J-Nug. There's Nugget coming up nicely. So pointing this out because when you see this type of movement, your best friend signal, breaking out through a resistance level, coming off a support level like a 50-day moving average, that usually implies there's going to be more upside. That's why we kind of pointed out ALT going into the close today, because of your best friend gap up, breaking this downtrend. You definitely want to be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. You'll probably see this one on the recommended list if things open positive. So the fry pan bottoms are what have been acting very well. Whoops. What did I do? What did I do? So there's your fry pan bottom. There's your breakout with a doji sandwich. Implies more upside. NVAX. NVAX, said that right. Consolidated, if this opens positive, still a lot more upside. Whoops, this was SSRM, one of the silver stocks that also has a gap up breakout. APPS, you can see what this did today. The resistance level broke out through. So what do you essentially have as far as a major pattern? There's your classic fry pan bottom J-hook pattern. Peter, nah. I sat through it waiting to see if NVAX was going to come back up. So it's still in the stage where it has to open positive to stay in it. But if you took profits, your question is, do I want to get back in, or do I want to find something that has just broken out? Like Vivo or like Chegg. All of these are fry pan bottoms that are breaking out right at the breakout areas. So NVAX may not be the place to come back in. Not because it's not a good chart, but there's probably charts that have better probabilities. Would you have placed a safety stop at Friday's doji? Yes. If you stopped out there, that was the likely place to come out. So it's still a little bit tentative. I held on waiting to see if it's going to come back up. But what is our game plan if you held on to this? It has to open positive. If it opens lower, what do you have? A gap up doji and a hanging man in the overbought area. If they open it lower, that tells you the weakness is starting. You would have closed it out anyways. So you want to be just as diligent for getting ready to close out a position as you are looking to get into a position. For example, look what happened today on GNMX. Had a big day in the overbought area at the breakout level. We closed out half that position somewhere up here as it started backing off because you're in the overbought area. Now, as you can see, it did a shooting star signal. Where do you think is the best place to stop out of this? Well, if they open this lower, you definitely don't want to see it trade back below the open of today. that would be confirming that your shooting star signal failed at the breakout level. Even though it's open above the T-line. On which one, Joe? Yeah, so Peter, going back to your situation, what is our ego problem? The one before. I don't know what the one before was. Apps? The hanging man. Oh, that was NVAX. Yeah, remember, we're not trading the T-line. We're trading the signals. Remember, your first ABC learning was the 12 major signals, the hanging man being one of them. And what's our rationale for the hanging man? If you're in the overbought area, you see a hanging man, and then it opens lower, you close out the position. And Peloton, another one that's in this throws, but it did kind of a shooting star type signal. So we bought some calls today, but if this opens lower tomorrow, we'll probably close out those calls. Always a signal first, yes. Then the T-line. Now, if you're close to the T-line, let's say you were going to buy, or if you bought on this day, yeah, it shouldn't come back through the T-line. Or, now there's a case where it did pull back and then started back up again. But notice where you would have gotten out eventually. Probably right here. Not too far away from where you would have gotten out over here. Can you clarify for me B/C? I don't know what B/C is. Oh, before you got into DVAX, it opened higher, ended up closing as a doji. So how do you know, go about choosing to get in or at the close or open? Somebody emailed me about that today. The purpose of identifying the signal in the first place is to tell you that there's a change of investor sentiment. This apparently opened and then traded down. If you bought on this day, or if you bought here and it traded lower, I'm going to call this the delta force after the delta force, not delta. The delta force is if you see a strong buy signal and you see it waffling around, just wait to see what happens. Wait to see if that dynamite that went off inside the dam starts doing what it's supposed to. If you see a gap up, you can see the pattern. Let it finish out the day. Is it? I forget which was the one where they blew up the dam. Oh, maybe it wasn't delta force. Maybe I've mixed metaphors. Ron, it's the sell signal is the important part. And remember where our caveat is. If you see a sell signal and a close below the T-line. But if you're that far away from the T-line, where do you think it's going to go back to on a sell signal? Back to the T-line. Force 10. Yeah, then darn. I thought I had a clever name. And I goofed up. So anyways, if you see a strong buy signal, even though it may waffle, you've got to assume that you're in a trend until it tells you differently. So the answer to that is if you're buying based upon a daily buy signal, you're selling based upon a daily sell signal, not what it does near or during what it does during the interim of the day. That's right. Okay. All right. So where are we? Another fry pan bottom right here at the breakout level. Look at the gap up. Now, again, we pointed this out. I can't remember. No, I guess I didn't. The logic is, if everybody can see that's a resistance level, and they're gapping it up right into that resistance level, what do you think, how much do you think they're concerned about that resistance level anymore? They're not. That's usually a good indication they're going to go through that. When's a good time now to be buying this one? If it opens positive with a doji sandwich, your fry pan bottom is working. There's your doji sandwich, your fry pan bottom is working. There's your doji sandwich, your fry pan bottom is working. Why? I had some very good profits in some calls on this one today. So I closed them out, took profits. It sagged for a while and then started coming back. So I rolled over into a less expensive, I think I bought 98s. I forget where I bought them, down here somewhere. I think they were the 80s. So I sold those out. And now I've bought less expensive. And tomorrow if it trades positive, I'll probably buy some spreads because we're in a higher risk situation, but we're in a strong uptrend that hasn't indicated that it's over yet. It could be. But the other assessment is that it consolidated basically back to the 50 and came back up, which is also a good sign. So you have a doji type day with the simple doji rule. If it opens positive, your doji sandwich is occurring right here at the breakout level. Well, that was probably the right thing to do. But now, with it coming back up, if it opens positive, you may have missed out on whatever that was, $1.20, and you buy back. Well, you're not buying back to make $1.20. You're probably buying back to make another $3, $5, $7, $8 to the upside. Yes, so why is, here's a low risk situation where you can see the pattern setting up. That to me is low risk. That's high risk. You're up here in the overbought area and you've moved up substantially. It could go higher, but you're in a dicey area right now. You've moved away from the T-line, you're in the overbought area. That's a little bit more speculative or a little bit more risky. So that's why I closed out the profits and then put less money in, that if it goes up further, fine. If it turns around, I close out that position and gave a little bit back. Stone, still moving up, but getting close to the area that we would really want to start going after aggressively. So this one you can be buying on positive trading because that would tell you got a J-hook pattern breakout. Jerry, not necessarily. I mean, if you want to be aggressive, yes, you might short it back to the T-line. But remember, tomorrow the T-line is going to be up here, so you don't have a huge pullback in an uptrending stock. So I would rather find something that tells me I'd rather be short, like on a lower open on PSN, giving you a bearish doji sandwich, confirming your bearish J-hook pattern, or something like this one, where you had the bearish left-right combo confirmation. So just because something is not a buy anymore doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a strong short. And this one still has to be taken into consideration due to the fact that you had this kicker signal that broke out through this level. What's the prospects of this one? A good strong 45 degree off of here. That kicker signal is up there in the ranking of your best friend, that if I was going to pick out 3 or 4 best trade setups, your best friend, your left-right combo, your kicker signal, and maybe your fry pan bottom breakout. But obviously there's still lots of other good ones, like a J-hook pattern breakout, your belt holds. But if you become an expert at 4, you will always have more trades than you'll ever be able to handle. Our CLDR needs to open positive and trade positive tomorrow to stay in it. To maintain this uptrend. And the reason you would suspect that is you don't have a sell signal. Doesn't ABM have light volume? Not necessarily. Traded 600,000 shares today. Nah, it's got very good volume. Oh, I can't remember. Your best friend signal. Breaking this downtrend with the best friend off the T-line, high probability. Could be the options, yeah, on something like this is fairly low. The volume is kind of the stock is kind of correlated with the volume in the options. So if this one's trading 500,000 or 600,000 shares a day, that's good for getting in and out of stock positions, but the options might be a little bit thin. And I'm kind of leaning toward the basic rule that if I'm going to do anything substantial in an option trade, it probably should have about 1 million shares trading in the stock each day. Bruce, I'm glad you asked that. Oops, maybe. It's close. But that could be a, yes, a bearish engulfing signal. I didn't notice that. I was looking more at it as a potential dark cloud. It's not a dark cloud because it didn't open above the high of the previous day. But now that I do notice, did it? I have to go to these charts here to see. If this one closed at 1281 and it opened at 1280. So it's close to a bearish engulfing, but it's technically 1 penny short of being a true engulfing signal. Opened at 1280, closed here at 1281. But the important factor right now is that, whoops, we're on the wrong charts. Is that a sell signal that's going to confirm? Well, if you're that close to the T line, you wait to see if they can close it below the T line. That's right, Bruce. It's kind of like the old statement, if a man makes a statement and there's no women around, is he still wrong? So Labu on CLDR, yes, you hold on to that one, but if it probably even if it trades weaker tomorrow, you close it out. So Labu's telling us the biotechs are acting well, which when we get over to the good charts, we'll see that. The other point that is telling us there's a good bullish trend is Amazon was up. Apple was up. Nvidia was up. Netflix, I think, closed at an all-time high. How do you go about knowing what sectors are strong? You can scan for sectors just as easy as you can scan for the stocks. So if I'm not sure which area is the strongest because I'm seeing a multitude of bullish charts, there on a lot of scanning software, you can go right to the different sectors, and then you scan those just like you would stocks, which ones had the biggest percent price move today. So if you find the sectors that have the biggest percent price move, Thinkorswim has, I don't know how to do sector scans over there, only because I don't use Thinkorswim for my scanning, even though there's some scanning capabilities. I've used either TCNet or Metastock, and we would do a, if we need to, we'll do a scanning session again here pretty soon. When you get strength like this in the market on the FA, when you get strength like this in the FANG stocks, how long does it last? We have no idea. We don't need to know that. All we need to know right now is that the bulls are in control, and one of the indicators is all the big stocks are moving positive. So you stay long until you see a sell signal. So Zoom was acting well. The only weak sister in all this is kind of Tesla, but it's still trading above the T line. And CrowdStrike is also continuing its uptrend. So the good charts right now, or the good strategy, is to be in the charts that have a definable pattern, a fry pan bottom like Wayfair. Square. You can see the kind of the J-hook pattern. AMRS. There's your cradle pattern. This one I would definitely be buying on positive trading tomorrow. The cradle headboard, the bed that's flat, which bunch of dojis, the footboard. You buy this one, you can buy this one on positive trading. That's right. That's the CAT scan. Joe, I don't think they have the, no, Jim, are the stock formulas for TC 2000 down in the file in the corner? Joe, down in the very bottom right-hand corner, there's a file folder. There's lots of the formulas in there. They're not overbought if they're coming out of patterns. Now square, and it's not that far away from the T-line. What else we got? Oh, so this one is still in the forefront. But remember what happens after these big price moves. They usually go flat until you see the next strong buy signal. Or you look for a pattern like a wedge breakout. So this one you can pretty much, what's happening here? How come my mouse is so squeezed up? There's kind of your wedge formation, and you're nudging it right to the upside. This becomes a very high probability trade setup. There's your inverted hammer. Remember our statistics on the inverted hammer. You see an inverted hammer and it trades positive the next day, you've got a 95% probability or greater that you're going to be trading positive. And if that's the case, that's telling you this wedge pattern is telling you on positive trading it's breaking out, it becomes a high probability trade. It was the same reason we got into this one. Oh man, line's all over. We got into this one because there was a little wedge right here. So we started buying right here. Again, being able to identify that little best friend gap up pretty much tells you that the probabilities are in your favor that there's going to be more upside. And again, the rhetorical statement, do we always expect moves like this? Heck no, but you'll find that you're in those situations a high probability, greater percentage of the time than just getting into an uptrending stock. INO, another one that kind of has a wedge. Whoops, maybe it's further. Kind of have a wedge formation. Oh, pshaw. Well, for crying out loud. So still waiting to see if it can break out through the top of this wedge. Yeah, some of our scans should be on TC 2000. I just don't know where they are because I never have to look for them. Oh, that was your fry pan bottom breakout. Now you got a big bearish left-right combo, which tells you that if they open this lower tomorrow, you close it out. Okay, we did all those. We're over here. There's another high probability pattern breakout. Kind of your bobble breakout, telling you and your T-line crunch, telling you there's more upside. Yeah, we've got a package over there on Metastock, which they say is their biggest seller over there, because I guess Jeff and I took quite a few months putting all that together. There's that breakout in sand, another gold stock. BMRA, there's kind of your rounding bottom, breakout through the 50. That one can be bought on positive trading tomorrow. FSLI. Sean, that's the only disadvantage that I keep telling Jeff Gibby, that the only disadvantage to Metastock is it's got so many good things on there that it's the type of thing where you've got to spend a long Saturday, rainy, cold, winter day and just sit down and just kind of study and go through all the different indicators that Metastock has. It's just, I mean, just a lot of stuff. Yep, to keep it very simple, Dorcas is just use the signals and the T-line. I keep telling everybody I can take everything else off this chart, keep the stochastics on, keep the T-line on, but most importantly, the signals themselves. Joe, it shouldn't take you even if you're not good at it yet, it should take you at most 20 minutes at night finding the best trade setups for the next day. Cindy, I'm glad you asked that. Do you think this is a good place to be buying FSLI? No, it's not a good place to buy. Where was a good place to be buying this one? When you saw the pattern set up. So this is why I always tell people, if you're looking at something and you're wondering, should I be buying here? Start adding up all the factors. You're in the overbought area. You've just moved up from the $50 area to the $73 area. Where did you want to be buying this? You wanted to be buying right in here when you saw the breakout, and then you saw the doji sandwich. So this is part of that learning moment. But if you're looking at this saying, man, should I be buying? This really looks good. Your first thought should be, where should I have been buying? That's what's going to start getting you much more mentally educated on what to be looking for to tell you there's a change of investor sentiment setting up. This is where you want to be buying. So I wouldn't be buying this one. I'd be looking more at stocks like this that are just now breaking out of a pattern. That's a lot lower risk. Or something like this that just did a buy doji best friend gap up. So that's part of the ego, and I did it myself for years, that everybody said, oh, look at XYZ, it's really running. And I had to jump right in, not realizing it just ran for 40% over the last 4 days, and I'm probably the last fool to jump in. Now when I see something that's moving up big, instead of chasing after it, I look back and said, oh, what was making this a setup to where I should have been buying? DYAI. There's your J-hook pattern, breaking out kind of through this area. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know why this doesn't. Okay. And again, DVAX, I'd still be a buyer of this one on positive trading. Where do you think it's heading to? There's the bottom of the channel. There's the top of the channel. It could come all the way up here somewhere. There's your doji. I don't know where all these lines come from. Look at all your dojis down here. Then they told you which way they're taking it. This one can be bought. A lot of these are biotechs. There's a big breakout on BNTX. UPWK, you can see that kind of big fry pan bottom type breakout. And ARVN, look at all your dojis. Where do you think your next likely target would be? Probably back up here to the 200. If it gets through there, where's your next target? Probably here, which would be coordinating with filling the gap. ABIO. Another doji, bullish left-right combo. Another one that can be bought. And why is this one significant? Because if it came back up here just to fill the gap, that's pretty close to a 50% upside. So not only do we have the capabilities of seeing which ones have good bullish moves, but which ones have good bullish targets. There's our J-hook pattern. And what's the normal price move? When they come up through a resistance level, what's the first thing they do? They come back and test it to see if that resistance level is going to act as support. And when it does, who do you think is watching this? Everybody that's watching this stock says, up, they supported here, and it's going up, I'm buying. They're not pulling it back. That creates your next price move. And what's the magnitude of your next price move? Wave 1, wave 3 up here somewhere. Halo, another breakout situation. If this breaks out, what's the magnitude of your expected move? Wave 1, wave 2, going into wave 3. What was that? What was it? It was UPWK. And Zine. Another breakout. This one can still be bought on positive trading tomorrow. So once again, the nice thing about this market is you don't have to have a rip-roaring bull market. Just a slow, steady uptrend, and you're going to have the prospects of 5, 7, 10, 12 good bullish charts to go after, which means you're always going to have a bigger supply of good potential trades than you have money for. And or if you've got a position on that looks a little bit dicey, it's not moving, it's moved up, it looks like it's starting to take profits, you just bought it and it's not confirming, close it out because you can move to another chart that has much better probabilities. Exactly right, Art. Okay. Oh man, this was supposed to only be 30 minutes. And all right, is there any general questions on candlesticks? Okay, if not, Jim, go ahead and do the double line. Yes. P. Don, we've got, I think there's videos on, Jim, do the next double line on options. And we're kind of even enhancing it right now. We just did the combination of not only identifying the strong trades on this session over the weekend, but once we find the strong trades, which strategies are the best. Sometimes it's buying the stock with a complement of options, or sometimes it's buying the calls with buying a spread that's a little bit higher up on the price move. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a more comprehensive illustration of what strategies you might use for a fry pan bottom breakout. What's the different combinations of option strategies that you could use. And the reason we're doing this is because what my trading risk reward factor might be completely different than somebody else. So I want to go through the whole spectrum so everybody can pick out what they like the best that fits into their trading nature. Okay, let's take a look at some. Facebook. Oops, disappeared. Facebook. Slow, steady uptrend. You can see where the breakout level is. It's getting there. Space isn't much of anything unless it opens above where it opened today and goes positive. That would be kind of breaking this downward trend. And Gush, is that the bull? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, gas and oil exploration. The bull spread, that doesn't make any sense. I would have thought that would be heading up further right now. Right now, if you're short, you stay short. If you're thinking of going long, you wait for it to get up above the T line. Beyond Meat, slow, steady uptrend. DHC, this one you can be buying, kind of a doji sandwich, scoop type pattern off the 50. That's a good looking chart. You can be buying this one on the basis you're expecting it to go back up into the trend channel. POAI, slow, steady, fry pan bottom. All you can do is stay with it. Dang, Jiminy Christmas. How can I keep missing? And I'm still missing. For crying out loud, I've typed this one 5 times now. There we go. Doji Sandwich, you can buy this one on positive trading because it would be breaking this level after a Doji Sandwich. ITI, another one you can be buying with the expectation it's coming back up to the trend after your morning star signal off the 50. Hecla, another one that you could buy on positive trading after your bullish Doji Harami gap up. Now if it opens positive, it's a pretty good indication they stopped selling right here on the 50 and started buying again. T-Doc, stay long, but you've got a doji right up here at the resistance level. Have your safety stop at today's low. Retta, another one that is up here at the resistance level. This one, if it opened lower tomorrow, I'd think about taking some profits. That means it it couldn't get up through the resistance level. TD or TNDM has to open positive. Use today's low as your stop. If it comes back down through there after indecisive trading up here, it means they aren't going through this level. Boeing, nothing right now. I wouldn't be long or short. You can see kind of the wedge formation, just no direction. And Sabre, kind of the same scenario. If you're anything, you're short. With the expectation they're coming back down to the 50. Harmony, you can be buying this one. Diebold, you can be buying this one. Nice J-hook pattern. HIMX, this is your double doji setup. If it opens positive tomorrow, you can start buying immediately. KGC, another one you can buy on positive trading, one of the gold stocks. Clovis, nothing. Doesn't have any direction. I'd be someplace else. BLY, nothing here unless you're short. You would just stay short. Cint, big breakout. There's your message. Now you watch for the profit taking to be over and then start buying. AMRS, definitely look to buy this one on positive trading tomorrow. Home, if you're long, you can stay long. If you're thinking of going long, wait for it to come up through that level. Needs to break out. Valero, nothing. It's still caught sideways. Momo, nothing there either. Would not be long or short. If you went long Friday, you closed it out today because it's still below the T-line. And box, that's a nice breakout. Look for a 45 degree to come off of there. Now, all you can do is stay long as it stays above the T-line. Scoop pattern on VHC, we did that one. Marna, nothing until it breaks out. If you're long, yeah, it has to open positive to stay in this one. Mankind, just stay long, but now you're getting a little bit exuberant up here. I'd have a safety stop, probably down here. Wouldn't want to see it come back down that far. Work was moving in the right direction, still heading to fill this gap up here. Daku, just stay long, steady Eddie. Zenga, you can be buying this one on positive trading. You can see the fry pan bottom setting up. Vivo, I'd be going after fairly aggressively because of the fry pan bottom breakout. XELB, you can buy this, you just want to make sure it gets up through the 200. ALT is probably going to be recommended on positive trading tomorrow. CNP, nothing. just moving sideways. It'd be someplace else. Viacom, nothing there either. When it spiked, did a bearish harami, confirmed it was going to come back here. Now it's going to trade sideways for a while. Sono, if you happen to stay long on this one, you can just stay long. But that is kind of a choppy chart. Nice breakout on court. Look for a 45-degree to come off of here. BTAI, all you can do is stay long. All right, good night, Tim. This is kind of goofy. He's probably long gone by now. AVYA, another one that you get ready to buy if it trades back up through the T-line tomorrow. And BSIG, another one you can buy on positive trading, continuing this uptrend. ESMT, another one you can buy on positive trading after the bullish engulfing, expecting to go up to the 200. Vive, stay long. Whoops. Cars, nothing there either. Too much sideways. MYOV, wouldn't do anything until this breaks out through the 1850 level. CLNS. Oops, that one I probably would have closed out today. Had a dark cloud. You had a hanging man. You had bearish confirmation, even though it closed right on the T-line. Your stochastics are heading down. That one kind of lost its sizzle. IDX, we did that one at the close. That one's still good. And Resi, just stay long. Babu, don't have a target. I would suspect it's going to come back up into this range. I don't know what that is. I'd look for it to at least come up into this area. Evoke. What does double line mean? Double line. Double line. What does double line mean? I don't know. What did we just evoke? Watch. This is your message. Wait for the profit taking to show that it's over. Then you can start buying. Usually on a doji, a hammer. VEM. That one's not working. Do you ever play cross on the 50 or 200? No. We're not buying the moving averages. We're buying the signals. The signals are the #1 criteria for candlestick analysis. Everything else is just a confirming indicator. Legend, you can get ready to buy this one on positive trading, a J-hook doji sandwich. Kirk, big breakout. That's already, there was your fry pan bottom. All you could do was stay long. Now you watch to see. If this opens lower tomorrow and you own it, you start taking your profits right away. MDB, you can buy this one. The VIX, stay short. Space, we did. Space, you can do something with this if it opens positive. And Bed Bath & Beyond, you stay long as it stays above the T-line. And AMAG, another one you can buy with the expectation it's coming back up to the 200 for the top of the channel. We did UP, WK. That's a good little breakout. Mr. Bill, steady fry pan bottom. You stay with this. Also, do you go with daily chart or 15-minute or overall trend? I look at the daily chart to see which direction, because I'm a swing trader, so I'm going to hold my positions anywhere on average 2 to 10 trading days. So I'm trading off the daily charts. If I'm intraday trading, I usually use the 10-minute chart. Overstock moved up nicely. Pause should have been a nice chart. It can be bought on positive trading tomorrow. ONEM. Oh boy, this one you can stay long as it stays above the T line, but you prefer to see this open positive and trade positive. AM, that one I would have closed out today. There's nothing exciting about that one. And Whiting shouldn't be in this one at all, with it being below the T line. CHD. This one, if it opens lower, it's coming back to the T line. So if I was long, I'd close it out. Boeing shouldn't be long or short. LIVX. Another one you can stay long as it stays up above the T line. STWD wouldn't be long or short this one. DraftKings, you should have been out of this one with a bearish left-right combo and a close below the T line. AMC, nothing here either. Would not be long or short. CAN. You can get ready to buy this one on positive trading. Just make sure your volume is good, meaning probably close to 1 million shares. And PEN, nothing there either. Just not telling you which way it wants to go. Clue, just stay long. Nice steady uptrend. As long as it stays above the T line. Fry pan bottom on Caper. If you're long, you can stay long. I'd be more apt to buy this on the next strong signal. Roku did some dojis, so it has to open positive and trade positive. Even if it opens positive, I have a safety stop at the low of today. If it opened positive and traded this way, it's failing at this level. If it opens lower, it's probably coming back to test the T line. The dojis up here today weren't good for the bullish uptrend. TBIO, nothing yet. You can still buy this one on positive trading because of all the dojis down here, but you probably want to see strong. We did overstock a couple of times now. Just stay long. That's uptrend, date or drop box. Ever since your left-right combo right off the 50, then your gap up, left-right combo. Look for it, see what it does at this level. And Nuance has been acting well. That's a nice breakout. Stay long on this one. Match has to open positive and trade positive to stay in it. You don't want to see this one trade below the T line. Is the pattern more significant than the candlestick pattern? Is the pattern? Well, the pattern is something that you're going to get more clarification based upon the signals that are kind of confirming that pattern. So I don't know whether you're referring to a Western pattern like the wedge versus a J-hook or a fry pan bottom. But the pattern is what you want to look at first, and then see if there's any signals that are confirming it. This one, we can see that, yeah, it's chopped around, and notice what happened. Where did it go today? Right smack dab back to the T-line. So the same philosophy. The further away you are from the T-line, the higher the probability it's going to come back and test it. Oh, the double line. I see. When I tell Jim to do the double line, it's so that everybody can put in their stock requests. Oh, these double lines, those are stochastics. Oops, that one didn't come up. Did I do it right? B-E-T-Z. No. B-T-R. If you're anything you're short, you shouldn't be long on this one. S-T-W-D. Wouldn't be long or short this one. Sideways. So, yes, that's, yeah, again, the more you can sit in front of the screen, like anything else, the better attention you can pay to it. On the other hand, if you're, like your situation in Singapore, or if you're putting on trades and then heading for work and you can't watch to see what it does, you pick out levels that you know you could be buying, put a buy stop in, and then near the end of the day, you see whether you continue to hold that position or not. Nothing on Apache, nothing on Halliburton. Whoops. What happened here? Apache, nothing, no direction. Halliburton, the same thing. Schlumberger, same thing. Nothing in that sector right now. WMG, fairly new offering. It's a toughie. Yeah, there's not enough information there right now to show what to do. And Spirit, nothing there either. The airlines are all kind of sideways. Go to another sector, another industry. CHW, you just stay long as it stays above the T-line. ARCT backed off a little bit today, but didn't reverse. Whoops. So you stay long. I'd still have a safety stop on a close below the T-line. And T2, just stay long with your safety stop below the T-line. Twillo, just stay long. This one doesn't come up over here for some reason. And are these the E-minis? If it's EverSource, wouldn't be long or short. Oh, the futures are dropping. Doesn't matter. That's still heading up further, all right. Yeah, the E-minis, I don't have those symbols over on this system. don't think I can get them here. E-S-A-N-O T-S-A-M-O. No. F.E.S. No, that's not it either. Okay. If this market keeps moving sideways, a lot of these fry pan bottoms should be continuing to work. E-S-A-U-2. No, that's automotive parts. E-S-U-O. Nope. I'll someday figure out how to do it. Okay, everybody. If the market just stays flat, you're still going to have a lot of good profitable trades. So with that, everybody have a good evening. We will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.